So today we're presenting a case study for automotive dealer that focuses on our digital remarketing systems that basically give the prospect who comes to a dealer's website, uh, looks at a specific unit, and we track their information of the website visitor, we track the URL, we API feed the inventory of the dealer into Google Merchant Center and into Meta Catalog. And when the prospect leaves the dealer's website, gets followed with the car ads that are basically API driven and price driven into Google and into Meta, and it follows the prospect on all of Google's display network, all of Google's advertising network, Meta's advertising network, Instagram, and we're also able to do this on TikTok. The case study here is going to show that over the course of basically a year, the dealer was selling 73 units. And the attribution from the lead breakdown, they were generating about 15 website leads per month at the time, and selling about one attributed sale from the website per month. As of January 2026, they were generating 333 website leads, and they had an attribution of 38 deals that came from the website. Basically, the customer seeing the ad of the vehicle, clicking back to go back to the dealer's domain of the specific unit. In between the car for car ads, we created content that told the story of the brand, a lot of testimonials for some theme content, some promo content, and again, car for car remarketing based on the vehicle. So the variety, 110 variations of ads that populate to a prospective prospect. We create data segmented ads that basically follow the prospects in as they go through the internet, and the ads in a way they capture different audiences. So 7-day website visitors, a group of people who were on the website within 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180 days. These are all buckets of people that were on the website over a certain period of time. And the variations of the ads basically are, as mentioned, up to 160 different variations of ads that play to these prospects. What winds up happening over the period of time, the growth of the website visitors basically becomes the returning user growth. So the prospect sees the ads approximately once every 2 days, about 15 time frequency over a 30-day segment. So 15 times they see an ad on Meta plus the same frequency on Google. And what winds up happening is, if you could see here in January 2025, the total user count of the website was about 14,000, and the returning user count was about 2,600 returning users, with an average time spent of 2 minutes. In December of 2025, we had 18,000 users, and a returning user count doubled from 2,600 to about 5,000. And the time spent on the website went from 2 minutes and 1 second to 3 minutes and 21 seconds. The outcome, again, being the sold vehicles growth occurred through website inquiries that started 15 and ended at 333, and went from one attributed sale to 38. You can notice here that the attribution for the other lead providers was basically consistent. Um, in January, CarGurus was 13. It trended to 17, 15 mid-year, 17, 19, 14, 22, and 26. So it did have a strong month. But the other platforms, for example, TrueCar was 1 against 1. They run eBay, excuse me, Cars.com was 1 to 5, so minimal. It had 4 in February, 4 in December, so the growth was not exactly there. Auto Trader was 3 against 3. Carfax was 2 against 3. And again, the growth representing 1, 4, 5, 7. We started with this dealer in May, and currently it's 38. So the growth happens immediately, right? So it didn't just say it took all this time to grow, but the total sales for the dealer went from 78 in January to 125. That's an extra 47 deals, approximately 72% unit growth. The turn time for the dealer improved by about 10%. They went from about 40-day turn time to about 36, 37-day turn time. And they did not give back any gross. So what winds up happening again is that these ads populate to the prospective website visitor once every 2 days, whatever platform they use, right? So if you're an Instagram user, when you open Instagram, the feed of who you follow gets interrupted by the ad. The variations of the ads that we populate give that prospective user a variation of approximately 20 different ad varieties, the majority of them being either testimonial or the specific vehicle. So imagine you went, looked at the specific car. When you go and shop basically through the lifetime decision-making journey as a prospect, and you do everything else that's non-car shopping related, you get these subliminal, in essence, reminders with the ads of the vehicle reminder, the link back to the dealership website, and the testimonials of other buyers validating the social proof over time to the prospect through a video. So what winds up happening again is that these website visitors start to come back to the website. They click back, and again, the returning user count growth and the average time spent is the factors that create a returning user who's warm, who comes back on average spending an extra minute and a half over the course of 1 year through the launch of these ads. So they've been converted, in essence, through social proof and through brand story to spend an extra minute and a half at 3.5 minutes on average for 18,000 users is a substantial amount of time to be on a website. The people come back, they do their form submissions, they do their phone calls, they send texts to the dealer. The point being the result representing this massive growth through the website being the attributed lead source. Just for a little bit further clarity, running right through the CRM system and running January 1 through being 127 units, representing 127 units for the dealer in total sales. So if this is interesting for your business, if you're not remarketing website visitors, if your business is not utilizing a system that basically follows every prospective website visitor 24/7, 365 days a year without needing your BDC department, without needing your sales staff until the prospect re-inquires, this is the systems that we build. There's one other point of reference that just makes sense, right? So the lead count for the dealer also, just, if it's the same, Car Gurus was 689 to 650 for the whole entire year, with the numbers being consistent. This shows that everything and all the other lead providers are the same. So the point being is, like, what would be the factor of growth, right? Like if the lead providers are all generating the same quantity of leads and the website new users are pretty much consistently the same, which we have here, right? New users 13,000, 14, 15, 14, 13, 14, 15, 15, 14, 16. The new user count is pretty much consistent. The growth becomes the returning user and the time spent on the website through these ads that populate hundreds of thousands of impressions across your total audience, bringing back people to the website who then, on their own time, in their own frame of mind, convince themselves, in essence, that this is the right dealership to do business with because of the social proof, because of the system that constantly reminds them of the specific vehicle that they're on the market for, and they come back much warmer and ready to do business with the dealership. So again, if this is something that's interesting to your business, if you're looking to grow your sales without increasing staff, without increasing infrastructure, without increasing inventory, most importantly, without reducing the prices of your cars in order to get the prospect to buy, you just create a 24/7, 365 automated system that tracks every website visitor, gives them variations of advertisements that are video based, that are social proof, that are brand based, that tell the story, that validate the messaging, that validate the customer experience, and all do it at the time when the consumer opens their device and is drenched in their iPhone or whatever device that they use while they're in a relaxed state, escaping their regular day-to-day reality through social media, and then getting interrupted with full attention to the advertisement, then clicking that advertisement and being kind of like loopholed and tunnel vision back into your website, right, into your specific inventory, and then taking action on their own where they've been warmed in a way that really even the sales team can't do because they're open and receptive on their relaxed time, not when you interrupt them with a follow-up phone call or a follow-up text when they might be distracted with work or with their children. The point is people utilize social media as a way of entertainment and distraction from their regular lives and go, in essence, into tunnel vision. And that's where they do their own reflective decision making. And this system leans into this mentality, leans into this human nature and the way the world is in 2026. Again, within 30, 60, 90 days, you will have substantial growth. Again, here from 2,600 to basically 4,000, growth happens in essence immediately, and it just continues to grow. There are ways to generate more additional traffic, but the point is of our system is that we're not creating extra leads for your dealership through the lead providers. We're not requiring you to buy more cars. We're taking everything you already have, taking the lemon in essence and squeezing all the juice that is available. If you take into account one more point, if you have 16,000 total users and only 1,300 leads, that means out of 16,000 website visitors, you're basically getting maybe close to 8, 9, 10% penetration of leads, meaning 90% of the website visitors who come to your business don't take any action. And unless you utilize this technology, you have no ability to bring these people back to your site while they've already looked at your car, already been introduced to your brand, and instead of letting them leave and disappear and continue to shop the market with your competitors, you follow them with your brand, with your story, with your car, and the system does what it does and creates this conversion for your business, in addition to generating hundreds of thousands of impressions over the course of a 30-day segment, where 500,000 up to 1 million impressions, depending on how many website visitors you have, and bring back thousands of returning users. Again, not new users, but the same people who already know who you are. So we'd love to speak with you. Let's set up a call and we can walk you through your data, your information. We can analyze what traffic you have, how much spend you need, and what type of goals we can create, and what type of conversions we can create, and what type of growth we can create for your business. Thank you for watching. Hope to talk with you soon.